So school starts back on Wednesday. So you know what I thought would be a really, really great idea is to coordinate a channel read along starting a couple days before that. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike here with another weekly update. It's going to be a little different this week because I know I did a quick little check-in from my vacation, so I'm not going to try to rehash too many things that I talked about there. It's been kind of a little bit of a work to get back into the swing of things, so I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, but I'm going to talk to you about what the plans are and what did get done. If you don't know by now, we put together an official schedule for our Rage of Dragons relaunch that we're doing on the channel. I put that video right here for you if you need like the schedule. Very, very moderate. It's going to take place over 4 weeks. Some people have already started. It officially starts on Monday. I already started a little bit, about 53 pages in. The first week is just 100 pages on the e-reader. I don't know how much it is in the hardcover or whatnot, but it's still only $4.99 on Amazon right now. If you so there's still time for you to jump on board if you want to. That's for the Kindle version. I don't know about the hardcover and stuff like that, but yeah, some people have already started. Officially starts on Monday, the 13th, and the first video review and discussion area will be on January the 20th. After much urging on the channel, many people for a while now have been telling me to start a Discord for the channel. I didn't quite do that, but some people recommended Caravan, which is something, basically a collection of book readers and clubs on Discord. And I'll put that channel. It's not like hey, go to this address. It's a really difficult address to speak to you. So I'm going to put it down there to where you can actually find it. And if you want to go on there, and I'll have it. I created a Rage of Dragons kind of read along little page there, and I'll direct you right to it. It's not a big deal. And if you guys want to talk about it while you read, that's the best place to do it until the first video goes up on Monday, January the 20th. But I really hope you guys will climb aboard, and a lot more people than I expected. And now I've actually gotten to the point where I'm like, great, I got more people than I expected to join me on this read along. Now I just hope the book's good. I can say 50 pages in, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It does seem like a lot of, kind of like what people say about the Wheel of Time. The prologue is don't get discouraged by the prologue. You're not really supposed to understand it. There's a lot of information thrown at you in the prologue in this, but you'll get the gist of it as you go along. So don't be discouraged at first if you're like, whoa, there's a lot of names, a lot of groups, and it gets into like a caste system and all that. It's okay. Just relax. You'll get it. But I'm liking it so far. I can definitely see the comparisons to Red Rising, as it has a caste system, and it has basically nonstop action. So I can definitely see the comparisons already. A lot of action. Or as my buddies at Legendary would say, lots of punching. There's lots of punching in it. After that, I'm currently while I'm just, as you know, guys, look, I'm spreading out this 500-page ebook over the course of a month, and you guys know that I read faster than that, so I'm always going to have something I'm probably reading alongside of it. And another Dresden book. I'm about 100 pages into Summer Night. Everybody tells me these books get better as they go along. So far, they're right, because pretty good. We're getting some serious backstory for Harry in this one, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. What I like about it is, yeah, those first two definitely just seem like Monster of the Week kind of things. And this one, while each one does seem to be a case, it is progressing the story each time, and it's not just like a formulaic cut and paste. There is no MCU formula here where you can go to the bathroom and come back and know exactly what happened in that movie. Nothing like that here. I definitely feel like he's changed it up, and I said that I'd like to be current with this when the new book comes out, which I thought might be a little crazy, but they're pretty slick reads, man. I feel like I can do that if I want to just keep kind of counterbalancing with just this as I go along with all my epic fantasy and stuff. But on my trip, I did finish Grave Peril, which is Dresden number 3, and I put that review right here. Had a great time with it, but I talked about it in depth, obviously, there, so you can know exactly how I felt about it. Definitely a change of pace that I thought that the series needed after Full Moon, and I read this on that vacation in like a day and a half. I always keep saying that people always say, oh yeah, they're such easy reads. I don't mean that they're lousy reads or that they're simple reads. They're easy to read because they're page turners, and there's not like, they don't bog you down with huge amounts of world building. But again, you can watch that Dresden video where I talked about why I decided to read it if you want to know more about Dresden or whatever. But I did want to say about the Dresden videos is that I've been having this hard time kind of balancing between spoiler and non-spoiler reviews. If you watched that most recent Witcher review I did, where I just went full spoiler on it like I do with Wheel of Time, is I feel like when it's a long-running series that you can't really do non-spoiler for it the whole time, because how many times can I tell you the same thing? Yes, it's good, read it, without spoiling some stuff. I mean, obviously, if you're on book 3 or 4 of a 16-book series, you're probably either in or out at this point. I don't feel like you need me to sell you on it. So I'm thinking as I go along my Dresden Files, I did the first 2 and they were non-spoiler, but I think going along I might start to dip into spoilers a little more, because I mean, if you're watching a video about book 3 of a long-running series, you probably read it already and you just want to know what someone reading it for the first time talks about, or you want to talk about it. So I probably will be dipping a little more into spoilers with my long-running series stuff. So just a early warning for you there. If that's something you're kind of disgruntled about, I do apologize. My Wheel of Time videos, they're all full spoilers. My First Law videos are spoilers. My Witcher videos are going to be spoilers. So I mean, if it's a long-running series, people want to hear what I think about stuff, and it's hard for me to do that when I'm not using any spoilers. So a little bit of a kind of balancing on a blade there, because I would like more people to be willing to click these things. But don't worry, I will always give you plenty of warning at the beginning of the video if there's going to be spoilers in it. So when you watch that Grave Peril one, you're going to see the great big red warning at the top telling you that there are spoilers in that video. So you need me guys to sell it to you. I mean, I could do that in probably 30 seconds and tell you why you should read it. But if I want to actually talk about these things, I'm going to have to talk about some spoilers. So there it is. Also, finished Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I was reading that at nighttime, at bedtime with my 7-year-old kid. He does not like to read that much. That breaks my heart a little bit. But he's 7. He's all about video games and his iPad. Why would he need a book, right? So I started reading this to him at night, and it took a little while, because at first, he was kind of settling into it, and also he's like every kid. I don't know if you have young kids, but it's like, oh, I'm not tired, and then you read to them for 5 minutes, and they're out. I mean, it's magic, right? So it actually took a little bit to get through this book, but we also took a week-long vacation in the middle of it. But he enjoyed it quite a bit, and also he had no interest in what I do on this channel at all about books. And then one of his friends at school said, hey, I think your dad has a YouTube channel. So now he's like, oh yeah, my dad's a YouTuber. He's cool. So there it is, right? Even though none of those kids probably have any interest in anything I talk about in this channel, it's kind of funny that he had no interest in what I do in here with my videos until he found out that, oh, I'm a YouTuber. So kids, what are you going to do, right? I'm going to see if I can get him to come on camera and talk about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone just for fun. I doubt it's going to happen. I tried to get my wife to come on and talk about Watership Down, and she wasn't having it either. So I guess you would say I'm an introvert in a family of, or I'm an extrovert in a family of introverts. I always get that backwards. Anyway, I also finished the first 2 books of Riyria. I don't want to go too much into it because I'm going to start rehashing what I said in that Back from Vacation video. If you want my initial thoughts on Riyria, they're right here. But I didn't get around to doing the reviews for those, Avanpartha and the Crown Conspiracy yet. Like I said, it's really hard to get back in the swing of things this first week. I did a Witcher review, I did a book haul video, I did the update, I did a video on a new Sanderson book, things like that I'll talk about in a minute. I just didn't get to this one yet because I don't want to sell it short, because I feel like this is something I really want to talk a little more in depth about. And that one will be non-spoiler, obviously, because that will be one where I'm trying to get people to read it. So early warning, yes, you should read it. It actually really surprised me. So thank you guys for picking that one. You guys picked that in a poll. Like I said earlier, I did my Blood of Elves review. I liked it quite a bit. You can watch that full video right here. That one is full spoilers or whatever. So if you've not read the series yet, you might want to kind of pump the brakes on that if you do intend to read the series, because I do go full into detail on that one. And I feel like I said, at this point, I feel like I have to. If you're into book 3 of a series and you want a non-spoiler review of it, I give like 10 seconds at the beginning and tell you why you should read it. That's about it. That's about all I can do with this. It's really tough, man. It's really tough. And I feel like all I'm doing is repeating the same things if I keep doing non-spoiler videos for these long-running series. Real quick, I did a full video for my thing on Warbreaker, this leather-bound edition. Again, I just want an opportunity to hold it again because it's absolutely beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. It is worth every cent. Did a full video on it. I'll put that up here. So you want to check at it, just look at all the art and stuff. Can't say enough about it. It's really, really awesome. As far as non-books, wife and I watched Zombieland 2 the other night. Double Tap, I think it's called. If you are tired of the zombie genre, I feel like Zombieland is something that kind of transcends that because it's just so funny. The first movie was one that we enjoyed quite a bit, and I'm a big Woody Harrelson fan. I think he's fantastic. I've been following him since he was on Cheers. But we expected the sequel to kind of be one of those things. Most comedy sequels, they either end up doing all the same jokes again, or they just become so meta and self-aware it's just not funny anymore. I felt like this was just as funny as the first one. The same humor was there. The cast has the same chemistry. Really good time. My sides were hurting from laughing so much, so it's a thumbs up from me, definitely. Check that out if you like the first one. If you haven't watched the first one yet, do it. Do it. I think it's on Stars, if you have Stars. Anyway, who has Stars? Come on. They did release a trailer for Netflix's Locke Key. That is a comic book series by Joe Hill. And if you don't know, Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King. So obviously you know that I know this. I haven't talked about comic books on this channel yet because I'm not really sure how you guys would feel about that. I used to be a much bigger comic reader than I am now. Huge DC Comics guy. As far as Marvel, I'm more Spider-Man and X-Men than anything else. I read some Avengers growing up, but I've read just about every single Spider-Man issue up until Dan Slott took over and completely ruined the series. That's a conversation for another time. X-Men up until the early 2000s, I think I've read all those. But DC Comics, I'm huge into Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, obviously, Flash, anything Jeff Johns has done, but also into the whole graphic novel spectrum. Watchmen, I think, is maybe the best graphic novel of all time, and I know that's not a new opinion, everybody, but that's the reason I'm not watching that HBO show. It's because I love that original so much. I have no interest in anyone other than Alan Moore touch. I'm full on Alan Moore when it comes on anybody doing new stuff with Watchmen. I'm like, get off my lawn with it. Preacher is another, probably my favorite comic book of all time. It's fantastic, and that show is an abomination. So I don't know how I'm feeling about this Locke Key, but if, like I said, if you guys want me to talk about it, I can do an actual why you should read on that, because it's a really, really, really good comic, and it was actually the first thing that I read by Joe Hill before I read Nosferatu. And I'll just say that right now I feel like the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree, so that's really exciting, especially since now Stephen King is allowing Joe Hill to write within his multiverse. And the multiverse is something I'm very interested in. I'll talk more about comics on the channel if you guys want me to, because I could definitely talk about some comics. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but yeah, Locke Key is very good, very good. Definitely recommend it, even if you're not into comics. I think you'd have a good time with it. As of right now, the only thing that me and wife are watching is we started watching Lost in Space 2 on Netflix. I watched the original Lost in Space TV series when I was a kid, and I know it was hokey, I know it was corny, just like Battlestar Galactica. But like Battlestar Galactica, the new series is very good. I felt like the first season it needed to trim the fat a little bit. It really felt like it was trying too hard to be something it wasn't. But I always said I felt like there was a really good science fiction show underneath. And since The Expanse doesn't come back for another year, I think you guys should check it out, because Lost in Space 2, that's just season 2, but that's what they do on Netflix. Like with Stranger Things, they just call it Stranger Things 2, Stranger Things 3, with Lost in Space. I've kind of told my wife, I kind of feel like Lost in Space season 2 is a lot like Red Rising, where it's like action, 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 action. Okay, take a breath for a second. Action, 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 action. That's how it feels like. But I understand some of the criticisms where people are like, man, just like one bad thing after another happens to these people. That's what space is like, you guys. It's not friendly. So I'm having a really good time. If you watch Black Sails, Toby Stephens was Captain Flint on that, and he's the lead on Lost in Space, and it's a completely different role for him. But the whole time, I'm just keep expecting him to talk to Long John Silver and make some kind of command, some kind of ocean command. So in season 2, they actually have a part where they've turned the spaceship into a boat. And the whole time I'm having like Black Sails flashbacks. But that's a cool series if you guys haven't watched that one too. But That's about it for this week, you guys. Gaming. My kid got this game called Hello Neighbor for Christmas, and I've kind of been watching that a little bit with him. And my kid is like full-on action guy, and that game really encourages stealth. So it's a nice little training module before he moves to stuff like Metal Gear or The Last of Us or something when he gets a little older, learning how to actually use stealth in video games and patience. Yeah, right now he's just more Halo, walk into a room like Bruce Willis in Fifth Element. Anybody else want to negotiate? That's the type of gameplay style he is. So I think it's a good learning lesson for him to learn how to be stealthy. But it's kind of an interesting game if you guys haven't done it. But he's really interested in watching Twitch gamers now, and I think that's the only reason he was excited when he found out I was a YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, but I don't do all that kind of stuff. So it'll be real interesting one day if he does get into some of these books and he can go back and watch this and be like, I disagree with you on all this stuff, which he probably will, because that's what young people do, right? But thanks for watching, you guys. What are you doing? What do you listen to? What are you playing? What are you reading? Hit me up in the comments, guys. Let's talk about it there, and I will talk to you soon.